الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
To do what you can during this month. How many of us have taken full advantage of that? In the same way, in our lives, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us everything we need, gives us all of the incentive that we need to do what we can to increase our station, to increase ourselves. From Hilal to Hilal is a time of sacrifice. And so is this life. The new moon, the starting of Ramadan, this new moon is like the birth, and the new moon coming forth is like the death. That night afterwards, that I'm always feel a little bit of regret, that I'm always a little sad for. You know, if you will, think of this as the grave. Yeah? This is the grave. This little short portion of time. Yeah? From that time until the Eid, for that particular time, we are left with whatever it is that we've done. And I think back on a time, matter of fact, it was probably one of my first janazahs that I actually attended for a brother that I knew in Tacoma. Yeah? And the Imam there, he was giving the short talk or the Khutbah or what have you at the site. And what he said was very powerful, and I remember it to this day. What he said was, make all of your actions, make all of your deeds be for this moment right here. This moment right here, when it's done. Khalas, over. You are left with whatever it is that you did. Yeah? For me, this is the same simile, something similar with Ramadan, in that whatever it is that we did, this is what we're left with. Yeah, this is what we're left with. And in the grave, you will wish that you had more time. You will wish that you had done that little extra bit to better facilitate your position. And these are the things that I'm thinking about during that time. And then we have the Eid, yeah? The time of joy. And for me, this Eid symbolizes Khawfar. Yeah? And again, this is just for me. For those of you who know what Khawfar, actually for those of you who don't know what Khawfar is the meeting place of the Muslims. Yeah? It's the pond or the lake or the place where Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was promised that this is where all the Muslims will come and they will unite and it will be a joyous occasion. Yeah? This to me symbolizes Eid. But as Muslims, we need to reflect. And it's this reflection that will help you build the connection. As Muslims, we are urged to think deeply. As a whole, one of the issues that we have as a Muslim ummah is that we are stuck in a state of ghafla, of heedlessness. We don't see things for what they are. We have eyes, but we don't see what's going on. We have ears, but we don't hear what's going on. We go about our daily lives and we are unaware of the things that's going on and the true reality of it. Our Imam, he drops jewels weekly. SubhanAllah. On this minbar, he drops jewels weekly. And all that we hear is come to Salah. That's all we hear. Ask an individual 2 days after the khutbah, what was the khutbah about? What did you take from it? What did you reflect upon? How is that benefiting you? We're in a state of ghafla, and we have to change that situation. Ramadan is a month of mercy. It's a month of reflection. It's a month of the Quran. And it was given to us in order that we may gain taqwa. In order that we may gain some self-restraint. So my question to you is, did you fulfill this purpose? Throughout this whole month of Ramadan, all of the hunger pains, all of the thirst, all of the sacrifice that you did, what have you gained from it? Did you gain any taqwa? What have you gained from it? Have you reflected at all? Did you call out on your Lord to seek forgiveness, to seek His mercy, to seek being lifted from the torment of the fire? Did we do these things, or did we simply just fulfill the command? We need to reflect as Muslims. We need to reflect, because this is the aspect of this reflection that will build your connection. And I'm telling you, it's the connection that matters. It's the connection that matters. How are you connected to Allah? How are you connected to His book? How are you connected to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? These things is the defining factor. These things are the things that will truly benefit. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to increase and to bless those of his family, those of his companions, and those who follow them until the day of judgment. To continue, again, reflection builds connection. I've mentioned many times before that this reflection, that there is no dhikr without fikr. Yeah. There is no remembrance without reflection. We have a serious problem amongst our ummah, amongst the Muslims in general, and this problem, this issue, is one of disconnection. We have a problem connecting the dots. Yeah. Remember when we were children, we had the little dot things, and we go from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, and then by the time it's all done, we finally see the picture. Yeah. Without those dots being connected, we can't see the pictures, we just see dots. Yeah? We have a problem connecting the dots. And that issue is the connection, that issue is reflection. It's through the process of reflection that makes this deen real to us. We have to reflect on these things. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not give us what He gave us in the Quran for us not to reflect upon it. This is the purpose. How many stories in the Quran did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mention this, and He mentioned this, and He mentioned that? Why? Why did He mention these things? So that maybe we will reflect. Maybe we will benefit. Maybe it will cause some type of change. Maybe it will increase the connection. This is the purpose of these things. And I'm speaking to myself first and foremost. We have a serious disconnection between us and Allah, between us and His book, and between us and the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You can't tell me that you are connected to Allah if when you travel about the day you don't see the attributes of Allah manifesting themselves in front of you. When you see a tree and you understand that the tree gives off oxygen, yeah, that we need to breathe, yeah, and we give off carbon dioxide, which the tree needs to grow. If you don't see this connection, you're not connected. If you don't see the mercy of Allah, if you don't see these things, if you don't see the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in your daily life, you're not aware, you're not connected. You can't tell me that you're connected to the book of Allah if before you do a thing, you can reflect on what Allah says about this action in His book. If the only time you pick up the Quran is in the month of Ramadan, you're not connected. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala it's His book. He's talking to you. And we don't even take the time to listen to what He has to say. But yet we say we're connected. You can't tell me that you are connected to our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If you can't sit and tell for 2 minutes, tell me about your Prophet. What did he look like? How did he do his hair? How long was his staff? What was he like? What was his character? If you can't sit and just tell somebody these things, you're not connected to them. But you can do it with LeBron James. Yeah? You can do it with Beyonce. Yeah? You can do it about your favorite sports car or whatever it is that you're passionate about. You can do it about politics. You can sit there and explain everything about everything. Why? Because you're connected to that thing. If someone was to ask you, well, what was your mother like? Explain to me about your mother. Yeah? You might say, her skin tone was a little bit lighter than mine. SubhanAllah, she had a smile that would light up a room, and you could go on and on about your mother. Why? Because you're connected. You can do the same thing about your child. Why? Because you're connected. We have to find a way to reconnect to Allah, to His book, and to His messenger. We are heedless to our own peril. We don't even read. Yeah? The first command given in the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is called read. First command. We don't even do that. The Imam gives classes here regularly. He gives classes. Yeah? We don't even have to read. We just show up and listen. and gain the benefit, we don't do that. He gives classes on the internet. Yeah? All we have to do, push a few buttons, kick up our feet on the couch to gain this benefit, to gain this connection. We can't do that. And wallahi, I promise you, if the Imam was to offer to go to your house at the time of your choosing to help you get this connection, the vast majority of us will find a reason to politely decline. We have to do better. Yeah. As Muslims, as a community, we have to get better. In closing, I would encourage you all to reflect and think deeply in general, but primarily think deeply when it comes to the Quran. Think deeply when it comes to the lessons that were preserved for us through the Quran and through our Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Once, I remember, speaking of reflecting, yeah, the other day we were talking about Sheikh Tijani, and from all the benefits that this community received from him, it's good to reflect and think back. And when we were talking about the brother, it made me reflect, it made me think about something of which he said that I hold on to this day. Yeah, he was speaking about when he was in Africa and he was with his sheikh, and they were learning whatever it is that they were learning. A group of them wanted to go, I forget where, maybe Syria, maybe some other place, to this other particular sheikh and gain some knowledge from him, some benefit from this individual. And so him and a group of people, they went to this particular sheikh, and they sat and they learned and they came back. Upon coming back, the individuals told their sheikh that, subhanAllah, this individual here, he was telling us the same things that you were telling us here. Yeah? You were telling the same thing. Yeah? And Sheikh Tijani, he had said, he said, yes, he said that his sheikh said, yes, verily, all good watches tell the same time. Yeah? All good watches tell the same time. We need to reflect upon this. The same information that our Imam gives us here for free, he could go someplace else and charge people for this understanding, for this knowledge. Yeah? We need to understand, and we need to reflect, and we need to connect with what we have. And this is a serious thing. In closing again. There was one thing that I wanted to mention, and actually it was the first, it was the khutbah that I was going to give before maybe 30 minutes or so before I got here. But in reflection and in thinking of the stories of the Sahaba and the stories of the Quran or what have you, we need to be connected to these individuals. Yeah? And one of the individuals that we can take a great benefit from his life if we reflect on it is one of Sa'd ibn Waqqas. Yeah? If you don't know who he is, yeah, read on him, read up upon him. He was one of the 10 companions that was promised paradise. Yeah? We have to know who these people are. Within their lives, there's benefit for us if we reflect. Yeah. This Sa'd ibn Waqqas, he was one of the younger Sahabi. Yeah. And he accepted Islam in the early stages of Islam. Some say, I believe he was like third or fourth to accept Islam, and I've also heard that he was like the sixth or something like that to accept Islam. But this shows how early on he did it, and his conversion, or the reason why he took Shahada, was in itself miraculous. In that, again, understand he was at a young age. His friends was, he was friends with Ali. Yeah, he was friends with Zayd. He was friends with Umar. Yeah, in this, reflect. Look at the company that you keep. The company that you keep will determine a lot of the things that you do. In the Quran, it's mentioned about an individual who would be, I believe so, on the Day of Judgment, or maybe it's in the grave, but it mentions that he will be chewing at his fingertips in regret, saying, oh, how I wish I would have followed the path of Muhammad, and oh, how I wish that I would not have taken such and such as a companion. They urge me to do these bad things. Reflect on the company that you keep. Again, Sa'd ibn Waqqas, beautiful brother. This is the individual who, that the Prophet ﷺ said, may my mother, I believe he said father, be sacrificed for you. SubhanAllah. This is Sa'd ibn Waqqas. The Prophet ﷺ made dua for Sa'd ibn Waqqas, that his arrows be straight, and that his du'as be answered. And this was such a reality for him, that he didn't curse anyone. He didn't curse anyone. There was one time where this individual, and this shows the later times during the time of the Tabi'in, is that this individual was cursing Ali, Zubair, and I believe another individual. This guy was cursing. And Sa'ad went to him and said, basically, look, you need to stop doing that, don't do that, or whatever. And he kept on doing it. And then he told him again, stop doing it, don't do this, or whatever. He kept on doing it. He said, if you don't stop doing it, I'm going to make dua against you. And this guy, this individual, was like, oh, you think you're a prophet now? You're a prophet now. I'm supposed to be scared of that, or whatever. So I said, okay, cool. He went, made ablution, made wudu, prayed 2 rakats, and he prayed to Allah. That this individual who was basically cursing those individuals who Allah was well pleased with, make him an example for other people like him. And it was said that there was a camel that came out of the house, or came out of nowhere. And this camel was like irritated and going through the marketplace as if looking for an individual, right? And if you don't know, a camel's big, the hump of a camel might be like up here. If a camel was sitting here, his nose would be there, his butt would be there, right? Camels are big, Came through the marketplace looking, found this individual, stomped him out, killed him, This was from the dua of Sa'd ibn Waqqas. Anyway, I'm running out of time. One of the main points that I wanted to mention about him, and this was on his deathbed, and he was with his son, and his son was obviously sad or what have you. And Sa'd mentioned to him, he said, "Don't be sad." He said, "Verily, we're promised paradise. Don't be sad. We were promised paradise. When I die, dress me in the clothes that I wore in the battle of Badr, because I want to meet my Lord. Meet my Lord basically dressed in a way of me defending Islam. Yeah. This could not happen if he was not a person of reflection. Yeah? This would not happen if he was not a person of connection. But my main point is this, and I promise I'll stop soon. My main point is this, is that yes, he was promised paradise. He was one of the 10 people that was promised paradise. But we too were promised paradise. We too were promised paradise. We were not promised that we won't go to the fire. Understand that. But we were promised paradise, and what I want you to take away from today is that no matter what you've done, no matter your state, no matter whatever you've done, Allah is waiting for your repentance. Yeah? And there is no sin that is greater than Allah's mercy. Yeah? But we have to seek it. We have to seek it. And we should not let our heedlessness, our ghafla, yeah, supersede over that desire to seek forgiveness and to please our Lord. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless us all in this. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to keep us safe and to increase us in this deed, to increase us in our reflection, to increase us in our connection. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the good in this life, yeah, to give us the good in the next life, yeah, to save us from the hellfire. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to send a special protection over our Muslim brothers in China who are suffering immensely now. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to send a special protection over our brothers in Palestine who are suffering right now. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to increase us and bless every single Muslim who has an atom's weight of La ilaha illallah. Increase them and make them better than us in this deen.